Where is everybody? Probably all the craziness with me having to restart this thing so many times scared them off. I show we got 5 watching. Only got 1 thumbs up though. Y'all watching, put a thumbs up in there. I should have 5 thumbs up. 3 more. There's Connie. Just got home from work. Well, glad you made it. Glad you made it. Because I've been running around like crazy all day. And then I tried to hurry up and get a video done making some stuffed acorn squash. And I just got it finished. I just was able to eat my dinner and sit down here and try to get online after messing with StreamYard and everything else all day. I was going to try to go live with StreamYard and never could get it hooked up correctly. And I think I know what I did wrong. So maybe next time. And there's Kathy 2010. Welcome, Kathy. Glad you could stop by. And there's Susan. Hello, Susan. I had to go get my license or my tags renewed for my car. So you know that involved getting the inspection, and then you got to take it around and get your actual tags renewed. Hi, Kathy. So it seemed like every way I turn, it's cost me money this month. Everything hits me in December. It's house insurance renewal, car insurance renewal, car tags renewal. Everything going and coming that I pay hits me in December. The very month you don't want it to hit you. Got you on TV. Well, good, Gladys. I'm sorry for the hassle. So what's everybody else been up to today? I got to find my cough drops. They got covered up. It's like everything else that I look for. It's always on the bottom. My neighbor boy is here visiting. Say hi to him. Hi, MJ. How are you? And there's Diane Hopner. Glad to have you by. Thanks for coming. I know I didn't pronounce your name correctly, but I'm glad to have you. How old is MJ? One. Oh my goodness. Susan Proctor said 11. Oh, 11. Okay. So he knows what's going on, basically. I started to say if he was only 1, he didn't know what was going on. But 11's a good age. He'll see what a bunch of crazy ladies do when they get together. He's drinking soda. Well, that's okay. We'll let him drink soda. He's allowed. I am too. I got some Coca-Cola right here. When that's empty, it's gone because I emptied the bottle. It was only one of those like quart size Cokes. You Yeah, I drank diet for a long, long time. Now I'm back to drinking regular diet, you name it, whatever. And I just try not to drink it all the time. I force myself to try to drink water because I know water's the best. But once in a while, especially if I've been out working in the yard and I'm tired and I'm thirsty, oh, a Coke or a Pepsi or Mountain Dew or anything like that is better than water, seem like. Well, I'm just glad Diane's back with us because I haven't seen her in chat in a while. He just went out the door. I just gave him his supper. He ate, and then he went straight to the door wanting to go out. So he may just wanted to go out to the restroom. He may be back in just a few minutes. I don't know. Sometimes he'll go out right after he eats, and then it's not 30 minutes before he's wanting back in. Connie, did you get your ring in the mail yet? Oh, I'm tired, I tell you. I got a lot of today, though. I'm proud of myself, but I am tired. Not yet. It'll take a few days. I think I mailed it Monday. I know. I went to the post office yesterday to mail a small package. Oh my God, the line, it was curled around like this going out the door and almost to the outside door. That's how many people were in line. And usually, I don't see it that way until like the last week before Christmas. When everybody's in there trying to hurry up and get that last package in the mail. But I tell you, I guess everybody was trying to do it early this year. Because that post office was swamped. And as people went out, more were coming in constantly. Yeah, I was trying to get it all cleaned up because I got all these decorations and stuff in the yard. And I said, well, all these weeds and grass and everything else needs to be trimmed up so the yard looks halfway decent to go with my decorations, Had a bunch of phone calls. I know how that is. I no sooner started out to go to town. I was already in town, headed to the driver's license office, where the car registration office. And my phone rang. And I've got, the Bluetooth brings my calls through the phone. And I answered it. It was a real estate agent. They've been trying their best to buy my property. And I said, well, I live here. Unless you're going to give me enough that I can go buy another place comparable to what I'm living in, I can't afford to sell it to you. We've got 2 new houses going up on our street. I mean, down on the end of the street on the opposite side, they're building a house. Then across the street from them, one house down, they're putting another one there. So that's 2 new houses going up right now within a block of my house. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But I guess people are trying to get stuff in the mail early. I've only got really one that I was going to put in the mail this year. Um, and that's to my brother in Tucson. I think that's the only one I've got to mail out because my granddaughter was at my son's Thanksgiving, and I'm hoping she's going to be there Christmas. So I told her, I said, well, if you're going to be over here at your daddy's Christmas, then I don't have to put your Christmas present in the mail. And she laughed and she said, no, you don't have to mail it this time. I can't afford to sell. I live here. You know, it'd be different if I lived somewhere else and I own this property, but I live here, so I can't sell the house right out from I'd be homeless. Then I'd be knocking on your back door, Gladys. I'd be living in my car. Well, even if I was to sell my house, even if I sold my house, I would still whew. You ever get choked on a cough drop? I put it in my I wouldn't start coughing, and I've choked myself with my cough drop. No, but what I was going to say is even if I was to sell my property and move, I'd still have my YouTube channel. That's not going away. In fact, I'd have to keep my YouTube channel. Yeah, hurry back, Susan. The wind was blowing so hard today. Hi, Paul's in the garden. How are you doing, Paul's in the garden? Glad to see you made it in. Sorry about my coughing. I didn't start coughing until I started talking. I don't know. The doctor gave me some allergy medicine one time that made me cough even worse. So I had to stop taking it because it dried my throat out so bad. I was coughing twice as bad taking that stuff, so I stopped it. Well, hello, Alfonso from Colorado. How are you doing? I see you're new to my channel. I'm glad to have you. And there's Kathy Phillips. No, I've never put a wreath on my car. I'm too busy putting them up around the house. The little beads you had, someone sent you. I don't know what beads you're talking about, Gladys. You talking to me? Yeah, I've seen a lot of people go through town with wreaths wired to the front of their car, but I've never thought about doing that. I said to be my luck, it would just the wind would just blow it all to pieces. Because you got to have a pretty sturdy wreath to put up there on the front to handle that wind. Yes, they were in a white. I don't remember any beads that someone sent me, Gladys. Yeah, they were in a white tune. I don't know of any white beads. You sure it was me? Oh, those. Yeah, I got those. I couldn't for the life of me figure out what Gladys was talking about. She was talking about these. Yeah, I've got them. I've been using them. It says to get 3 of them in the lid and then put them in your mouth. So we'll see if they help. You said beads. I didn't know what in the world you were talking about, Gladys. Vicoprofen. You love the Santa Claus behind me? That Santa Claus is almost as old. Well, he is as old as my son. Because I got him when my son was just a baby. I've got a Rudolph, but he's a little one about this tall that I got for my son to put under the Christmas tree when he was little. But I haven't unpacked it yet because it's in with the Christmas tree decorations for the house. And every year, if I put the tree up, I put him under the tree. He stands up under the tree. No, he doesn't walk. But when you turn him on, he plays music. And he's got a candle that lights up. And his arm used to go up and down. But it doesn't go up and down anymore. It'll still play and the candle will light up. But his arm doesn't move anymore. I guess his arm got frozen. But I still keep him. It don't matter if his arm moves or not. I still think he's pretty. And I put him away in his box. Every year when I, take all the Christmas decorations down. So he stays clean. My son bought one just like it over at his house. He got it years ago. I don't remember where. But yeah, I got that one probably right after we moved to Texas. And he comes out with my Christmas decorations every year. Just like the Rudolph does. He comes out and gets under the tree when I put it up. I'm probably not going to put my tree up in the house this year. Because I got my great big aloe vera plant on the corner table where I usually put the tree. So I don't know what I'll do with the aloe vera plant. If I put it outside and it freezes this week, it'll kill that aloe vera. Or it killed the one last year. And I just had that one shoot that I put in a smaller pot and I brought it in the house. Or I would not have that one. But it grew so big this year. It's even bigger than the parent plant was. A real big plant. Santa got arthritis. He is so, yeah, I guess he got arthritis in his old age. Kids in the back window. I bet that's so cute, Susan. Yeah, it's cool to have it on your car, but I just haven't got to the point where I start decorating my car yet. I'm too busy with the house and the yard. Put them out for a while. Well, it's always good to get the stuff out. It puts me more in the holiday and Christmas spirit to start putting out decorations. I said, I don't care if anybody even comes down my street. I can see it. But they do. People come down my street sometimes just to see what I've put out, if I put anything different out, or if I changed it around any. And my gazebo back here that I lit up is one new feature, along with the blow-up cat that was sent to me. And I've put out some other stuff that I had packed away in the shed, because I didn't put it all out last year, but I put almost all of what I had in the shed out this year. There's a few things still back there, but not much, except just lights. Well, it does your heart good, Susan, to do that, to decorate, put a little bit of something out. Get in the holiday spirit. You'll be surprised what it does for your soul, your mind, your well-being. I mean, it just makes me feel good. MJ's going around playing with all your musical toys for Christmas. Well, thank you, Gladys. But no, I hadn't decided if I'd play trivia tonight or not. I didn't know if anybody wanted to play tonight or not. I mean, if we play, it's just going to be for fun. I don't have anything to give away. Well, Christmas is a magical time for anyone that's 11 years old. It's just a beautiful, neat time of the year. Now, I wasn't happy with my car insurance. I was expecting it to go down because I didn't have any accidents or tickets or anything like that. And it went up $3. Rate increase, as they call it. Kathy says, I'm a bit subdued tonight. What's going on, Kathy? Yeah, putting up decorations and seeing it all around you, it just puts you in a good mood, lifts your spirits, make you feel better. How about playing for a phone call from me? Oh my God, that's not anything to play a game to win. I had one of my subscribers send me a message to call her whenever I had time. Because she said that she had something done to her, but it had been being done to me, trying to kill my channel and all that. And she wanted to talk to me, but I have not had time. This is the first time I've even slowed down, and you see what I'm doing now. Yes, I would love to say hello to you. Oh, yeah, I knew you meant say, understand why, I'll be okay. Yeah, I've just run, run, run. It just seems, like there's not enough hours or half hours in the day. Before I started my channel, I was getting bored. So I got busy with my garden, and that started keeping me busy. Then I got started with the videos, and one thing led to another, and now I don't have time for anything. The minute I get up in the morning, I'm doing, it's nonstop. I have not even sat on my couch and watched TV in I don't know how many weeks. I'm always editing a video or doing something for YouTube. It's unreal. Like a profin. The first job God gave to Adam was taking care of the garden. Yeah. That garden is what fed him. I mean, I enjoy doing it, but it keeps me busy. But I guess that was the whole idea of when I got started with it, was something to keep me busy so I didn't sit and feel sorry for myself and dwell on the problems and that kind of stuff. I got up moving around, which I needed to do. Got my mind off of all the stuff that you don't need to be worried about. Just makes you feel better. Well, thank you, Connie. What's this? Thought I was going to live with one daughter. Found out yesterday I can't. I must have missed something in chat. What's going on? I missed something somewhere. Did you mean literally that you were going to live with your dog? Oh. What's the problem, Kathy? Why can't you live with your daughter? Is it health problems that you can't live with her, or some kind of problems going on with your daughter that you can't live with her? Or, I mean, I don't know what's going on here. Yes, thought so. They live in a small house, 4 people, so not enough room. They have 4 people living there already. Well, if it was my mama, I think I would make room somehow. I mean, it doesn't matter the size of the house. There's always ways to get around the size. It might be close quarters, but I think Connie, she has her mom living with her. They've got her out, I guess, in the garage. They converted it to like an apartment for her to live in, so she's right there with them. They rent. That's how they found out that I have congestive heart failure. And they rent. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Kathy. Could they not maybe get a bigger apartment and maybe you somehow help them out with the rent or something? It's a small house. I've been there to visit for a bit. Yeah, I think Connie said that they converted it to like a small apartment big enough for her mom to live in. And then she basically takes care of her, but she's right there. And she feels like she has her independence because she's got her own space. Yeah, I knew it was some kind of room you had. I couldn't remember if it was a garage or rec room or what it was you had said. Well, there's more and more people building some of these tiny homes, and they put them right behind their kids' house. So all their kids have to do is walk out their back door, and they're at Mama's front door because her little tiny house is right in their backyard, basically. So she has her independence, living in her tiny house, but she's right there with her kids. So if she needs any help, they're there to help her. You can still do for yourself. Well, that's good. Said yes, but my daughter rents. Well, what size house do you have? Is it big enough that your daughter could move in with you? Her family move in with you? Or if that's not an option either? Your house is bigger, but they live, I can't see how many hours it says it's behind the heart. They put that heart in the most inopportune place. 3 hours away. Well, it would be nice if your daughter and her family could move in with you and be close to you, but I could understand the inconvenience it would be for them, especially if they're working. They just can't walk out of their jobs and leave. So attached to the garage, so we had to insulate the wall that is common with the garage, and we don't charge her anything. We wanted her to come where she can be cared for. You have a dog called Cody, so it's all good. Well, that's nice. At least you got somebody there with you. Because pets can be a big companion. Oh, you're fine, Kathy. We want to hear about your situation. We care about you, and I care about everybody else that's in chat. I care about all my subscribers, so I always want to know what's going on with them. I know sometimes I get to thinking about that, like, okay, what am I going to do when the day comes that I'm going to need help? When the day comes that I might not be able to do everything myself anymore. Yeah, a dog or a cat is good, but family's always better. You took care of your mom, Susan? How far away does your son live from you, Susan? You have balance problems sometimes, Kathy. Gladys, I've stopped looking for a rich man. I don't think he's out there. And if he is, somebody else has already got him, so. I didn't use my nasal sprays earlier, and that's one reason I'm coughing. You have 2 sons and 2 daughters, Kathy. Where are the other ones at? I know the one daughter's 3 hours away. Are they not any closer, or do they live further away than the one daughter? Oh, man. Get sleepy again. I got sitting down here getting still. He's in Michigan and I'm in Kansas. That could be a problem. Yeah, I've been married twice. My first husband passed away. My second one, he's still alive, but he's not doing real well. And I noticed he didn't call me around Thanksgiving. Usually he does, just to call, see if I'm okay. And I probably should call him because I know he's not doing good with his knee surgeries and his back and some other problems he's got. He's been having to walk with a walker. He was 8 years older than me. So he's what, like 83 right now. My first husband died of a heart attack when he was 68 years old. We'll see if that helps. Kathy says 2 live 1 to 2 hours away. That daughter lives 3 hours away. And one lives, I can't see the hours, 4 hours away. Oh, wow. And I guess the accommodations with the other daughters is not any better. Yeah, I've always, all my life, heard horror stories about nursing homes, and my mom never wanted to be put in a nursing home, and she wasn't. My brother and his wife stayed with her till the day she died, and I would have too, but she was going to leave the house to my brother and his wife. Therefore, they were the ones that stayed there to help take care of her. I offered, but she says, no, I'm leaving the house to Mitch, so Mitch and Hope will be living here. So what are you going to do? Yeah, I mean, they live close enough they could come see you once in a while. 1 to 2 hours away is not that far. They could at least come over maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, check on you, see if there's anything that you need, to do or have done that you're not able to do. Yeah, if they're all going to get equal parts of the property, they should be, all of them be willing to come check on you and make sure you have what you need and your needs are taken care of, I mean, I don't know what your situation is with your house. If you have to mow the yard, who does that? Maintenance on things, stuff like that, they could come check and make sure everything is taken care of. They do come and do for you when they can, okay? Well, as you get older, they probably need to start thinking about making a regular routine of coming by to check on you and come by to see if you need anything done. And like Connie or Susan said, they could alternate. They don't all have to come at one time. You have 3 or 4 children, then, hey, that's a whole month taken care of right there. One could come one week, the other one another week, and so forth. Or at least once every 2 weeks, until they see maybe that you need more help and you need more people coming by more often to check on you, you know. They do? Okay. I know. I used to just jump at the chance for any reason, just to go out to dinner with my son and my daughter, my daughter and son-in-law, because I hardly ever got to see them. My son I got to see more often, but sometimes when I'd fly out to go to North Carolina, I'd make the excuse that I didn't want to leave my car at the airport because they were close to the airport. So I said, can I leave my car parked at your house while I'm gone, so I don't have to leave it at the parking lot in the airport, and I don't have to pay for it to be parked. Well, I did that, and when they come to pick me up from the airport, always, if we had time, I'd go by a restaurant and buy them, you know, lunch or dinner or whatever time of day it was, just to get to visit with them. But I don't do that anymore, because usually if I go home, I drive now. I don't fly. I know you like to spend time with your family because, you know, we're only put on this earth one time, and a very short time. And I try to spend every chance I get with my children and my granddaughter. I mean, I hadn't seen my granddaughter in 2 years. I mean, I looked at her and I knew it had to be her. I wasn't sure it was my granddaughter. Because 2 years ago when I saw her, her hair was cut like a man's cut. It was like 2 or 3 inches long on the top, and it was bleach out white. When I saw her this time, she'd gained a little bit of weight. She let her hair grow out, probably about as long as mine, not quite. And it was the natural brown, light brown color. And I had to look at her, you know, like, I know this is my granddaughter, but I'm not 100% positive. And finally, my son says, Mom, aren't you going to say hi to your granddaughter? I said, well, I thought it was Alexander, but I wasn't sure, and I wasn't going to just walk up and start hugging on somebody and loving on them and saying it was my granddaughter when it wasn't. I mean, it's bad when, you know, you live that close and it's been 2 years since you saw your own granddaughter, to the point you didn't hardly know her anymore. But, you know, what can you do? It always helps to talk to other people about issues and problems that you're dealing with, Kathy. So don't feel for a moment that you can't talk to any of us or chat with any of us, because that's why we're here. You're homebound. I mean, I wish some of my gardening friends, my subscribers, would come back into my live chats, but they kind of faded away. But don't think for a minute that I don't want to hear from the rest of you, because I do. I mean, I want to see each and every one of you in chat every time I go live. And I'd love it if I have my gardening friends back in my live chats too. Because I know there's always gardening questions, cooking questions, stuff like that they have to ask. And they resorted back to just commenting, leaving comments and questions in the comments instead of coming into chat, which, it may not be a good time for them either. I don't know. Oh, wow, you thought you were going to have to go to an assisted living? But now I'm doing so much better. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Susan. I know we have apartment complexes here in Granbury. One is just for retired people that can do for themselves. They are offered 3 meals a day, but they have to come down to the dining room to get their meals. They don't necessarily deliver them to their room. They will if you call down and say you're sick or something like that you'd like to have your meal brought to the room. If possible, they'll do that. And we've got another one that's open now. Well, we've got several in Granbury. And one of them is like an assisted living. But you have your own apartment. You can either fix your own meals or you can have your meals brought to you. It's up to the resident. They have everything they need on site. They have theaters on site. They have game rooms because they have a game night. They just opened a new retirement complex right on the lake. I mean, you look out your balcony window and you're looking right over the lake. It's a beautiful place to live. But I said I probably don't get enough check to pay rent for that place. It's probably way beyond my check limit. Susan says, I'm in Kansas and only your son in Michigan. I have a family member near Charleston, North Carolina. No, not Charleston. It's Charlotte. I'm thinking of the wrong place. Well, one place started out being like $850 a month for one person. And then it was a couple of $100 more if you needed an apartment for 2 people. So it was actually cheaper if it was 2 people and you were renting the apartment together. But for one person, it cost almost as much for 2. So I said I couldn't afford it. But I'm sure the rent has went up since then because that was years ago that they opened. And I said they take my whole check plus more just for the rent every month. I said I couldn't afford it. I mean, I worked in one of them for a long time. Worked in the kitchen, helping serve their food and cook their meals and that type of thing. I helped out in their dining room. And I enjoyed it because I got to meet a lot of the residents, the retired people, and they were sweethearts. Well, maybe you don't need it anymore, Susan. Just wait and see. But if you get in some of those apartment complexes that have assisted living, they're pretty nice places to live if you can afford it. Like I said, I couldn't afford it, but they're nice places to live. The one I worked in was 3 stories high, and it did have elevators. You had your own laundry in the on the ground floor. You had a shuttle bus that took you around Granbury anywhere you wanted to go free of charge. That was all included in your rent. So if you wanted to go shopping at Walmart or some other place in town. You just get on the bus and it would take you where you wanted to go. They served 3 meals a day, but like I said, you did have to go to the dining room to eat. You went through a food line in the kitchen. It was kind of served buffet style. You pick out what you wanted going down the line, and we'd serve it to you. And then you go sit in the dining room and eat. You could get your coffee. And we always planned stuff, like at Valentine's Day, we'd have a Valentine's Day dance and party and stuff like that in the dining room for all the residents that wanted to attend. Cookouts and stuff on other holidays like Labor Day, Veterans Day, stuff like that. They had special stuff at Christmas time for the residents. So, I mean, it wasn't a bad place at all to live if you, like I said, if you could afford it. And then, like I said, some of the complexes that are assisted living, they do your laundry for you. They bring your meals to your room for you. You have kitchenettes, so you can, have your own food. You can fix your own food. So, that's not a problem. But you can also have your food delivered to your room and that kind of thing. And of course, they have people that help out, assistants that go in and help the people do whatever they need, physically or whatever needs to be done. Yeah, that's the way I thought so too, but my mom had other plans. Yeah, back in my mom and grandparents' day, people were not put in nursing homes. They were kept at home. They were cared for at home. The only way they were ever put in a nursing home is if it was just physically impossible to care for them at home. And see, that's another good thing about these apartment complexes that are for retired people. Just like I said, they have a shuttle. So if you wanted to go somewhere during the day, you don't have to worry about driving because they'll take you where you want to go and then bring you back. Yeah, see, Susan, that's what I'm talking about. If you've got someone that it's just impossible to care for their needs every day, then you have to put them in a nursing home or assisted living facility or something like that. Because sometimes it's just physically impossible to take care of them. Yeah, and that was so sad, Susan. I was like my neighbor. She was the size I am, but her husband's 6'5", really big man. And he had these falling spells, and she couldn't get him out of the floor. The only way she could get him up was call 911. They'd send the ambulance after him, take him to the emergency room, take care of him, treat him for why he fell, and then bring him home. But she could not get him out of the floor herself. It was impossible. So finally, they did have to put him in a nursing home. And she went and spent every day with him. And she'd bring him anything he ever needed or asked for. Stuff that he really didn't even need, she'd take to the nursing home and give it to him. She said, well, he's bad off. He's not going to live but once, and he's not going to live long. So he'd just as well be happy. That's what she would say. She said, he's going to be happy. Yeah, you are fortunate, Annie. Like with me, I'm by myself, and if something happened that I couldn't take care of myself anymore, I'd have to go live with my son or my daughter. If I couldn't do things for myself. I'm hoping they would not put me in a nursing home, because I definitely do not want to be put in one. But I don't know what's going to take place later on down the road. Yeah, I'm not a spring chicken either, Kathy. The last week she was in hospice, yeah. Usually, even if you can keep them home, a lot of times they end up in hospice the last week or two, because it's impossible to take care of them. Now, my mom was home to the very end. She had hospice coming to the house, and she was at home until the day she died. Oh my goodness. Turned 98, and then the next day she died. Well, hey, that woman did good that she turned 98. I mean, that's a long life. If I live to be 98, I'm going to feel fortunate. There was a gentleman that lived in Lakestone Terrace when I worked there, and he was 103 years old. And I'd come walking through the dining room a lot of times, and he'd still be there sitting at his table, and he'd get in a conversation with me. And the last time I talked to him, he seemed real down, and I said, "What's the problem?" He said, "Well, I'm 103 years old." I said, "Well, hey, feel fortunate you reached 103. He said, "Well, I do." But he said, "Do you realize all my family's gone? All my friends are gone. I shouldn't be here." He said, "It's like living in a whole new world. And I got people around me that I've met." But he said, everybody I grew up with, everybody I've ever known, all my family, everybody's gone. And you could tell he was getting to the place where he didn't want to be here anymore. And I think that was the last time I was able to talk to him, because I think he died that next week. And I said I knew something was up because of the way he was talking. He knew he wasn't going to be there much longer, and he didn't want to be, from the way he talked. He said he never put you in a nursing home. Well, that's good. Well, good for you, Susan. Oh, wow. That had to be a handful, Kathy. That had to be hard on you emotionally, too, to know that your dad was in that type of situation, that he had to be cared for like a child. I don't know if I'd have been strong enough to do that. I really don't. It killed me just to go to the hospital the last time I saw my dad alive. They had him so full of codeine, he was hallucinating. He was seeing dogs running up the wall. That he had cancer, and it spread through his bloodstream. It was in his kidneys. And they had to give him morphine and stuff just to keep him comfortable, because he was out of pain, but he didn't know anything. Oh, I busted it working in the yard, and I didn't bandage it at first because it started to heal. But then when I got out there the next day and started running the weed eater and the blower and everything else, I kept bumping it because it's right at the end. I kept bumping it, and it would bust open again. So finally I said, well, I can't leave it open anymore. And I know that Band-Aid looks terrible. It's all frayed. But I put an antibiotic on my finger, and then I put 2 Band-Aids on it, one over that way and then one around it to keep dirt or anything out of it. And it's not sore anymore. I can push on it and it doesn't hurt. And at first it hurt so bad to touch it, and it was swelled up a little bit. And it's not that way anymore. So in another day or two, I can take the bandage off of it. I may have to take this one off and change it, but it's feeling a lot better. I'd bust it open with liquid Band-Aids. It's best to put one on it like this that I can't. That way, if I bump it, it's not going to pop open. Hi, April Flowers. How are you? Just thought of something. Doesn't April showers bring May flowers, not April flowers? I don't know, does it? I never can keep that straight. That's the rhyme anyway. April flowers bring May flowers. I think that's what I've always heard. Some of my subscribers have gotten friends with me on Facebook, and they send me messages through Messenger. Oh, you don't do, yeah. Years ago, I started a YouTube channel, and my YouTube channel got hacked. My Facebook account got hacked, and I didn't even have access to it anymore. I could put my password and everything in, and I couldn't even get into my YouTube channel. So I started this other one years later, and I started a new Facebook page. And guess what? My old Facebook page showed up. I can go to either one now, but I still go to the one that I'm using. So, but I never have gained access to the old YouTube account, the one that I had singing videos and stuff on. I've never been able to access that. Well, that's the reason I suggested that you went through Facebook. Because you can go through Facebook and look up that person's name and send them a friend request. And then if they accept the request, you can start messaging them back and forth. And then they can give you their phone number if they want you to have it. I mean, that's the only thing I can suggest is Facebook. Without knowing a phone number or anything. You stopped going to YouTube? No, you meant Facebook. Tell you what, Kathy, the only thing I can do is if you want to get my Gmail address off the description under the video, send me an email telling me, you know, that's for anybody that wants to connect with you. And then if anybody in live chat wants to connect with Kathy, send that email to me telling me you want me to give your email address to Kathy or a phone number to Kathy, and I'll be glad to give it to Kathy. Y'all can see I don't do videos. Because, I mean, I've connected one or two people that way. They sent me an email, and I just kind of relayed the phone numbers or relayed the email addresses so they could communicate. And I don't mind doing that, because I know you don't want to post it in a comment, or you don't want to post private information on live chat either. Well, the reason I started YouTube years ago was I found that a lot of my family members in North Carolina, New York, Tucson, Arizona, Tennessee, different places, all connected on Facebook. So I started connecting with my family on Facebook. You know, they show pictures, they post pictures of the family, tell me about different events and stuff, that what's going on with them. And that's how I kept up with a lot of my family, was on Facebook. And I still do. I mean, it's the next best thing to me because I can't be there. You know, North Carolina's a long way away. Tucson, Arizona is not just to drive down the street. Probably from my house to my brother's house in Tucson is about as far as from here to North Carolina. It's about the same difference because it's a big state. I ate my stuffed acorn squash for dinner tonight. I mean, I only ate a fourth of it because it's not a very big one, you know, about this big around. But when you cut it in half and you stuff it with stuff and you bake it, that's a lot of food. So I cut, you know, it's cut in half already to stuff it. And then I cut it in half again, and I ate that quarter of a section of it. That was my dinner tonight. And I've got the other part of it up here on the stove cooling because I'm going to put one part in the refrigerator and the other half of it I'm going to put in the freezer. Because I can't eat a whole acorn squash by myself. That's a lot of food. I'll show it to you. Oh, I made my video on it. I can get it over here. That's half of an acorn squash. And I don't want to dump it out of the pan. That's half of an acorn squash right there. That's a lot of food. A lot of food. And see, that's just a quarter of it right there. That's part of the half that I couldn't eat. It was just too much food. This one's going in the refrigerator. The first one I showed you is going to go in the freezer. But I had to let it completely cool off before I could put it in the freezer or the refrigerator. And there's Farm Wife. Hello, Farm Wife. Farm Wife says, Rusty Bucket been sniffing gasoline lately. No, I haven't been eating any more turkey. I've got it all in the freezer. I stuffed it with, I went the really quick route. I used stovetop stuffing. I pulled one of my Egyptian walking onions out of the garden and chopped it up. I got dried cherries and chopped them. And put some garlic and a few other spices in it. And made the stovetop stuff and mixed it all up with the onions and the cherries and all that good stuff. And I went ahead and stuffed it with that and then baked it. Well, you'll have to watch my video tomorrow because I baked it like nobody bakes it. But, you know, no, you'll not ever see anybody bake it the way I did. Because half of my baking time was in the microwave, which speeds it up. So I'm going to be posting that video tomorrow, sometime in the morning, if I can get it uploaded, because I haven't uploaded it yet. Or it's uploading now, part of it. And then I've got to edit it before I can publish it to YouTube. Well, hi, Mary. How are you? So you'll get to see the video on my acorn squash tomorrow. You might want to fix one because it's really good. I've seen some recipes for them, and the stuff that they put in them, I wouldn't eat anyway. I mean, oh my God. It's like, who are you going to feed this to? Your computer's messing up bad. I'm sorry, Susan. But yeah, y'all watch my video tomorrow on my acorn squash. You might want to try the recipe because it's really quick, easy, real simple, you know, recipe. And it's my own recipe. I did not get this from the internet or out of a cookbook. April says, I'm working, but I'm listening. Well, that's okay, April. You're always working and listening. As long as you're here, that's all I want. I know you're listening. I'm glad I took your advice, Gladys, and used my spray because you know I'm not coughing. It's helping anyway for a while. Farm Wife says I'm folding clothes. Well, I finally got my laundry done and got all that put away. It's almost time to do it again. But I spent 2 days cleaning in my yard. I mowed one day. I'd used the weed eater and the leaf blower one day. And that is a phenomenal little cordless leaf blower. I just didn't have both of the batteries charged up. It's got 2 batteries with it, so you charge both of them up. That way when you're using one, if it runs down, you can switch the batteries out. Go ahead and charge the one that you did use and go to the next one and keep going. Well, I didn't have both of them charged up, but at least I got it done. You're planting microgreens. Well, that's good, April. I've still got plenty of greens growing in my yard. You know, the cold doesn't hurt the greens, especially the Swiss chard. It grows. It doesn't care. I'll be planting a lot of Swiss chard this year, I promise you. And I've got 5 or 6 containers of Swiss chard in my freezer already because I got too much to eat that last go round, and I cooked it and kept out a little bit to eat, and then I put the rest of it in the freezer. Yeah, hello to all the silent viewers that we got out there. Got 35 watching. That's doing pretty good for a night that I had so much trouble getting online. Oh my God. It's just another green. It's like oh, I'm trying to think. It's like a mustard green or spinach. Swiss chard is a form of spinach, but it grows. I mean, I've got like a kale. Some people call it kale. Others call it Swiss chard. And I had gotten some of these seeds that were giant kale. Oh my God, the leaves got giant. And when it cooled off a little bit, all of a sudden I had these humongous leaves growing on my Swiss chard. And I said, that's the way it was supposed to be. Even bigger than that. But the weather kept it from growing this summer. But I've been harvesting it. I mean, I scalp it back to, you know, the stalks are that tall. And I keep it watered and the leaves come back out on it and I can harvest it again. But I've got it planted, spread all over the yard. So by the time I go around to all the pots and I harvest all of it, I've got way too much. You know, I cook it or I blanch it and I put it in bags and put it in the freezer. That way when it comes time, maybe I don't have any growing, I'll have it in the freezer. But I don't know. I don't think I'll have any time soon when it's not growing because the cold does not hurt it. I think the heat hurts it more than the cold. But it still survived that heat this summer. A lot better than a lot of the plants did. But we got another freeze coming up this week. I don't remember what day. But it's supposed to get down to, I think, about 30. Now, it may not get down that cold, but that's what they're predicting. It may hit only 32. Who knows? Y'all need to hit the thumbs up. I got 39 people watching. I only got 19 thumbs up. You silent viewers that are out there, hit the thumbs up. Come into chat and join us if you would. Well, it depends on if I just blanch it. Then when I take it out of the package and thaw it out, I'll put it in the pot or my frying pan and I'll saute it and cook it before I eat it. You can, sometimes I'll put bacon in with it or a little bit of ham. Sometimes nothing at all. I'll just cook it because I like it without even seasoning in it. There is a couple of packages in there that it's already cooked. All I have to do is take it out, thaw it out, heat it up, and eat it. I don't even have to cook it. But to save time on that last bunch that I did, because I had a bunch of peppers too, if you saw in that video, I went ahead and blanched it because it's quicker. And I went ahead and got it in the bags and put it in the freezer. I mean, each one of them little baggies I put in there would have cost me, for that much greens at the store, would be about $5. You know, because you buy it in the packages, I don't know, about that big. And sometimes it's mixed greens, sometimes it's spinach, sometimes it's other greens, but it's around $5 a bag, or it was the last time I bought it. It may be more now. And when you cook it, it goes down to nothing. So, yeah, I've got quite a bit of money in those 5 or 6 bags of Swiss chard that I got in the freezer. You can eat the smaller leaves in a salad raw if you want. I usually cook mine, because I have other small, really small greens that have the little leaves, and I've got that lettuce growing out there. I usually have more lettuce than what I've got, but the heat killed off most of my lettuce. But there's 1 or 2 spots in the yard where I got the lettuce, and you know, that head of lettuce that I planted in that tote, it's growing like crazy. It looks almost as good as, well, it does. It looks as good now as it did when it was bought. And I guess if I harvest the leaves off of it and just leave the root in the dirt, it'll grow more leaves back on it, just like the Swiss chard and the other greens in the yard. I mean, if you saw that video that I did here about a week or so ago of all the harvesting of the greens and the bell peppers, all the different peppers that I got a bunch of stuff. I made several jars of cowboy candy relish with my peppers. And like I said, I got 5 or 6 or more bags of greens that I put in the freezer, plus what I kept out and ate for a day or two. I'm just hoping my garden will be a lot better this year. Hopefully the water restriction won't be like it is now. And maybe the weather will, you know, kind of cooperate a little bit more with me. And I'll have a better garden. Oh, I would have had a phenomenal garden this year if I'd have had plenty of water and if the weather hadn't have been so dry and hot. Yeah, thumbs up. And I still haven't pulled my beets because, you know, they like the cold weather too. So I've been letting them grow. And there's been a time or two that I've cut a few of the beet leaves and threw it in with my other greens and cooked them. A lot of people don't like to eat beet leaves, but they're pretty good. They're just like any other green. They're kind of a little bit more messy because, you know, when you cut the leaf, you get that red dye on your hands from the leaf. And I think maybe that's part of what some people don't like about it. So they don't want to mess with the beet leaves. Yeah, you'll have to go back and look at that video where I harvested all the greens and, yeah, wear gloves. They get a little bit messy when you bring them in to wash them too, though, you know. It's almost like getting blood from them. Not quite as bad, but... yeah, like wearing a mask. I never think to put my gloves on. Especially when I'm harvesting anything. Yeah, but I like that acorn squash. It turned out real good. And I've got a spaghetti squash that I got that I'm keeping to cook, and I've got I think it's a butternut squash. And then there's another squash. I'm not sure. It's like a butternut. No, it's kind of like a spaghetti squash, but I don't think it's a spaghetti squash. But I've got those to cook too, but I don't know when I'm going to cook them or how I'm going to do them yet. So right now, I've got the little freezer to my refrigerator full. I've got my new freezer behind me almost completely full. I mean, there might be a little bit of room to put another package or two in there, but it's pretty full. I've been taking out like the cube steak. I took out some of that out of the freezer, and I took a package or two of sausage out this week already. I haven't eaten it all, but I've got put it out to thaw so I could put it in the refrigerator so it's there, you know, when I want to fix it. So I'm trying not to buy any type of groceries unless it's sugar or flour or something like that that I run out of. I'm not buying meat and canned vegetables and all this other stuff because I got plenty of that. So that's helping out tremendously with my grocery bill, I'll tell you. Y'all know me. I get sitting still. I start getting sleepy. Just checking to see. Yeah, the largest part of my video is uploaded, but I've got to piece it together now with some other pieces before I can publish it. I'm pretty sure Gladys is still here. She doesn't usually leave. Yeah, I wore my mask yesterday and the day before out working in the yard. I finally remembered to wear my mask, and it helped a lot. I didn't cough half as bad yesterday or today because I wore the mask. But I did come in and put one of those painter type masks on because that helps even more. I mean, I look crazy walking around the yard with it on, but hey, whatever works, you know. Oh, sometimes Gladys will fall asleep if she's been hurting bad. Yeah, I know she fell asleep one time. Seemed like she commented not long ago, I thought. Hmm. Rusty Bucket. It says farm wife. I sniff gasoline daily. One of these days you're going to blow up. Well, Gladys hasn't come back in with a comment. Maybe she did go to sleep. You wear a t-shirt that says open flame within 50 feet. No flame, no open flame within 50 feet. I'm sorry, y'all. I keep yawning. I used to be fun on Hodges and other places. Now I'm just by myself. Well, you've always got this place here, this channel to have fun on. Oh, really? You and Rusty are good friends from a long time ago, farm wife? That's good to know. So far, I haven't encouraged my family or friends that I grew up with to come in live chat. Some of them have been watching my videos. They may have even subscribed to my channel, but they don't come into live chat. So I never know if they're there or not. But they've mentioned that they've seen my videos, so I know they've watched them. And on Facebook, I'm keeping up with my family, and I do post my videos on Facebook. So, they can just click on the Facebook link and watch the videos if they want. They don't have to sign into YouTube or anything to watch them. They can just click on the post. Yeah, I know, Rusty, and it's sad. Well, thank you, Rusty. That's what I try to do. You know, I did work as a teacher for a short time, and I love working with kids. I like teaching people. You know, I like to show them how to do something maybe they don't know how to do, or maybe a better way to do it. And that's kind of what my channel is all about. Things I've learned in gardening, and, you know, ways that I found that's better to do it, and hoping that I could help somebody with that. Plus cooking what you grow, you know. Everybody cooks differently. And, you know, everybody. I mean, it doesn't matter. Every state, people might fix the same dish different. So, anytime I can give people pointers on cooking, or maybe even come up with a recipe they've never tried, you know, that's good too. You've been there listening, but trying to copy some things, and it's been locking up your computer. Your computer's protested. It's trying to tell you you're trying to make it do too much at one time. There's Gladys. You had to restart your pad. I don't know what's going on with the internet. I mean, my internet was off the wall last week, but they were working on the system. Hopefully I won't have many problems with my internet from now on. They were upgrading their system, so it was kind of messed up for off and on for about a week. And my brother, one of them in North Carolina, said, because for a long time they did not have a really good Wi-Fi or internet for my hometown. He had to use a satellite dish, and it was so slow. And now they put fiber optics through the town, and he was able to get that. He said, oh my God. He said, it's so much different than what I had before. It's unbelievable. Before, it would just, you try to upload something or download it, and it would just run and run and run and run forever. And he said, now you do it, and it's just up there already, you know. I don't think any of my subscribers to my channel are average people. I think they're all above average. You don't like to stand out in the crowd, Susan? Yeah, it's getting that time of evening, girl. But you know, it's only 9:02 here right now. It's later where you're at than it is here. But you know, after doing stuff and running around all day, once I sit down and get still, That's when I get tired. It's when I relax. I'm sitting there, and that's when I get tired and I start yawning, and that's when it hits you. When I'm still up running around doing stuff, it can't catch up to me. We're all crazy, Gladys. Somebody said one time that they were not the normal person. And I said, hey, what is normal today? Everybody's definition of normal is different. Yep, that's when you get still and get relaxed with your babies, and that's when it catches up to you. It's almost time for little Buddy to want back in. He stayed in all night. I put a towel in the recliner over here because that's one of his favorite places to curl up and sleep. So I folded a bath towel and I put it in the seat because he's in and out outside all the time, and sometimes he gets dusty. So I put the towel down in the seat of it so he can lay on that, and I don't have to worry about getting all the dust or hair or whatever on the chair so much. I mean, I always vacuum it off, but I thought he might like it better too. It's like his little bed. He probably needs him a little cat bed. I don't know. I don't know if he'd even sleep in it. But he seems to like to get up in that recliner and just use the seat as his little bed. Farm wife, stop huffing diesel. Oh my God, Rusty Bucket sniffs gasoline and we got farm wife huffing diesel. What's wrong with y'all? Cody and I are having a snack, honey graham crackers, and I'm having coffee. You're having coffee this time of night? I hope it's decaf. I usually drink tea at night because if there's any chance I can go to sleep, tea will help me sleep, where the coffee will keep me awake. And I don't think I've ever bought decaf. I could drink coffee 24/7, but it bothers my stomach. So I've got to the place where I just drink a cup in the morning, and that's it. I don't touch it the rest of the day anymore. Gladys wants pancakes. I haven't fixed pancakes in a while. I'm probably due to make some more pancakes pretty soon. You can drink regular coffee at night. Well, it seemed like the caffeine helps keep me awake. Years ago, I could drink coffee or anything at night, and I'd still go right off to sleep. You're just eating dinner, eating supper, a little bit of stroganoff. That sounds good. As do you, hun. I've been a bit off grid for a bit. Yeah, stroganoff seems real good. I fix it sometimes. I haven't had it in a while. Your husband cooked it? Well, good. You gonna make a cook out of him yet? Hi, Chris. How are you doing? East Tennessee. Well, I'm glad you love watching my videos, and I'm so happy you came in to chat. He's a good cook. Oh, good. I've never had chocolate chip pancakes. To me, that would be like eating a chocolate chip cookie. Well, good. You're doing great, Chris. Blueberry pancakes sound good. Yeah, it does. Bananas. Yeah, I like banana pancakes too. I fix banana pancakes quite often. Okay, Rusty Bucket. Good night to you. Have a good evening. Have a safe day at work tomorrow. I got to get off of here too. I mean, we've been on here for 2 hours. I'm tired, and I'm sure everybody else is getting a little tired too. It's getting late. So I want to thank each and every one of you for coming in. And if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please do so on your way out. Tell everybody to like, share, subscribe to my videos, and above all, watch my videos. And I'll see you on my next one, okay? Love y'all. Bye.